So now you have a team and you want to know what it's going to be like at one of the tournaments. I'm going to describe just a generic tournament. Our qualifiers and the state meet are fairly similar. The state meet's likely to take a little bit longer. It's a little bit larger. So teams arrive at around 8:30 in the morning on whatever Saturday the event is. That gives the teams 1 hour between 8:30 and 9:30 to set up their home base. Every single team that's going to be at that tournament will have a table already set out for them someplace. It'll be a folding table, it'll be a cafeteria table, could even be some space in a classroom. And that's where they set up their computer, their robots, their spare parts, packs, coats, whatever they have, that's their home base for the day. At 9:30, there's usually an opening ceremony. This is the opportunity for the officials to welcome everybody, let them know how the day is going to go, because even though you may know how the day is scheduled, the people in the audience may not. So it gives them an opportunity to know that. Most qualifiers, and I know at the state tournament, around 9:15, before the opening ceremonies, we have a very brief, short coaches meeting. Last minute details that we need to get to the coaches and make sure they understand them. After the opening ceremonies, you're probably talking around 9:45 to 10 o'clock, the tournament will start. At this point, half of the teams will go and do their robot competitions on the playing fields, and half of the teams will go in for judging and do all the technical and core value judging that occurs. So half judging, half doing the playing field robot performance. Then there's a lunch break. Usually after lunch you come back and the teams switch. So if they were doing the robot performance, now they're doing the judging, and the judging now will become the robot performance. So by the end of the middle of the afternoon, all of the teams will have been judged in all of the categories, and all of the teams will have had their chance to do their 3 trials on the playing field to get the highest possible score. Now, what we do usually after that is a very brief finals with the robots. It's not part of first, it's not part of their scoring system. We have a couple of trophies that we give out for first, second place in the robot performance. And this is where we take the top 4, maybe the top 8 teams in the tournament, bring them together for head-to-head competitions on the playing field to see who's got the most powerful robot in terms of getting those scoring on the missions done. It doesn't count towards your day's score, but it's fun, and it gives our judging and our scorekeeper a little bit of extra time to do deliberations. And the kids have a lot of fun. Gives the audience a lot more to watch than just sitting there waiting for judges to deliberate. After the deliberation is done and the finals are all done, we move into awards and our closing ceremonies. We typically are done sometime between 3 and 4 o'clock. We very seldom have gone past 4 o'clock, and we very seldom have been finished before 3 o'clock. So my guess is you're probably looking at 3:30 to 4 o'clock for a final time. Then, of course, you have transportation in the beginning and the end. Now, for judging, you can expect your teams to spend some time in a presentation project judging room. Typically, it's going to be a classroom. You're going to have 3 or 4 people in there judging. Your team comes in, it's got a couple of minutes to set up. They give a 3 to 5 minute presentation, and then they'll have 3 to 5 minutes of questions and answers with those judges, and then they come out of that room and the next team comes in. So that takes care of those 3 components for the project: research evaluation, presentation evaluation, and innovative solution. So those are the 3 things that are being done there. Now, there will be a technical judging section where they're going to have judges who are looking at the robot, how well it was built, how well it was programmed, and did you have some good strategies for running your robot on the table, and did you come up with some innovative ways to solve a particular problem running your robot on this year's field. So that'll take care of those 3 aspects. For core values, We have roving judges that are keeping track of spirit, how inspired were your team throughout the day, and then we'll also have judges who are working specifically doing a teamwork exercise. So your team will report to a teamwork judging area during the day and have to be evaluated for how well they work together. This is not a time for your team to be snarling at each other. It's a good opportunity to remind your students that teamwork is as important as building and programming your robot. And then gracious professionalism is also looked at throughout the day, and all of the judges have the ability to respond back to the scorekeeper for the day on what they saw. That's pretty much all of the judging. And when they're doing their tabletop performance, they're out on the fields. There are usually 2 tables side by side, and one team on one side, one team on the other, and it's one of those ready, set, go, and the teams have 2.5 minutes for their robots to get as many missions completed as possible. They get 3 tries during their morning or afternoon to get the highest score possible. It's not an average, it's the highest of those 3, and that will determine their ranking for robot performance. That's pretty much what the day looks like. You'll know a lot more after you've attended your first one, and if you have questions, www.mainerobotics.org. Thank you.